Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with Ekow Essuman, English welterweight champion, of course. And he said middleweight, I'm not sure why, and you're not looking big or anything. Queensbury Promotions debut. Probably not how you thought, well, I don't know, it depends when you signed, but were you anticipating it being a behind closed doors debut?
Well, originally we were supposed to fight at the end of July, so obviously that was behind closed doors, and then when that fell through and they said they was going to reschedule it, I thought, oh yes, like there might be a chance for having a crowd, but obviously not yet. But either way, it doesn't really matter because you get in the ring and you've got to just knuckle down and get to it. Yeah.
This could be kind of a coming out party for you. I know that's an overused term, but you've had so many fights under the radar, small hall shows. Everyone's talked about you, former GB amateur, of course, English champion as well. But now this is a chance for a much wider audience to see what you've got to offer. Is that exciting to you?
Yeah, it is exciting. In a sense, it's worked in my favour because all my opponents now, up until now, hadn't seen much of me. So they go look, even for Peynaud, for him to go and look at some of my fights, he won't see a lot of my fights. He won't know a lot of what I can do or what I'm about. So up until now, that's the problem my opponents have probably had. Whereas now, it's my coming out party. People will see what I'm about, but rest assured, I fight different every fight. I use my boxing brain to fight, so I'm never the same opponent on any one match. I'm not one-dimensional.
Now, last time we spoke to you, and people won't have seen this because we had to scrap the video because it was 2 days before Cedric Peynaud pulled out of the fight. How disappointed were you that it happened, or did you always know it was going to be rescheduled?
I was really disappointed. I was gutted, but I was assured by Frank Warren that it was going to be rescheduled, and so I just had to take that in mind and keep hitting the gym, and sure enough it was, so here I am.
The attraction of Peynaud as an opponent for this stage of your career, how much of it is just that it's the right timing for someone of that level, and how much of it is that it can be used as a measuring stick between you and Conor Benn? Also the fact that British fans have seen Cedric Peynaud over here.
Well, I trust in Frank Warren's matchmaking, first of all, and if he's the opponent that they've put in the corner for me to face, then to me it's not personal. It might look it when I'm in the ring, but he's in my way and I've got to go through him. Yes, it is a nice measuring stick for me and Conor Benn, although saying that they fought however many years ago and they both would have improved since then.
And that was a fight notable from its absence on the list of cross-promotional contests that were suggested by Frank Warren, was you and Conor Benn, but no less mouth-watering than some of the other ones on there. With the promotional divide, how likely do you think that is as a future fight, especially if you manage to do something against Peynaud that he wasn't? It will be very possible. He's obviously gone in for that Chris Jenkins fight for the British because he got made mandatory. So he'll be going in for that, and I think I'm a higher risk and less reward for him. But if we get to fight, I would love to have that fight, and I've told him that in person. I mean, we met when my gym mate Derek Osazi won the boxer event. I met Conor Benn literally a few hours before that. Not that we planned to meet, we just happened to bump into each other and just had a little chat. And I said to him, look, if I'm ahead of you on the rankings and you want to go for the British, surely you've got to go through me, and you've got to meet at some point, because if not, then I'll just make myself mandatory myself. So, who do you fancy between him and Jenkins?
I think Jenkins is a better boxer through and through, but he's prone to cuts and whatnot. A lot of his last few wins have been through a deadlock of cuts and through fights going to points. So I think Conor Benn is as much of a live opponent as anyone else. He throws a good left hook. He could easily cut him. So I can't really say in that fight. But what I can say is, regardless of who wins it, whoever has the title, I'm coming for you.
And just before we let you go, just tell us a little bit about what you're doing up in Nottingham. You, Derek Osazi, you mentioned your stablemate, who's also unbeaten, doing very well. You don't get perhaps the coverage that you deserve from your achievements. Just tell us what you're building out there in Nottingham.
Well, my coach is there on his phone, minding his own business. But Barrington Brown,
former pro, of course, never gave anyone an easy night.
Yeah, former pro. Trust me, he could still get back in the ring now. Sometimes he gets in the ring with me and Derek, and he shows you, he's good.
But yeah, at our gym, we're a gym full of undefeated prospects, and we're just building ourselves up. Obviously, you said, and I mentioned, Derek won Ultimate Boxer, and he's got a few exciting fights coming on as well. I've got more exciting fights. We've got some dynamite kids that are going to blow onto the scene soon as well. We also do an anti-knife crime kind of movement, well, Barrington Brown does at the gym, which we work with kids in our community, keeping them away from gang life and so obviously knives and whatnot. But yeah, our gym's on the up, and so are we.
Who were the Nottingham fighters? I know that I said that was my last question, but I hope you forgive me. Who would you say were your Nottingham fighters that you looked up to growing up? Because I imagine Froch was a bit later, but like the Booth brothers or even earlier than that, who would it have been?
Well, the ones that I actually came to know personally was the Booth brothers. Jason Booth. I trained with him quite a few times because he used to train with Barrington as well, and he was under my manager Jimmy Gill as well. So yeah, I do.
Legend of the sport, Jimmy Gill.
Yeah, everyone knows Jimmy.
Yeah.
But so I know Jason quite well, and I also got to meet and know Carl Froch whilst I was on GB. So yeah, I look up to them both in terms of what they've done in the sport, and I want to obviously emulate that and do more.
Great stuff. Well, we look forward to seeing you finally showcase your talents to a wide audience on Saturday night. Really appreciate your time.